Mr. Green.
Do I know you?
Hopefully not, but I do know you.
If you're another blogger, I'm not interested. You people can kiss the contents of my unwashed boot. I've had my fill with you people. You've never believed what I've had to say anyhow.
No, I'm not a blogger, Mr. Green, but I am very interested in what you have to say. I've heard the most awful things.
Well, they're all true, or they might as well be, whatever you've heard. Now, would you please leave me alone? I would like to drink in peace.
How about I buy you a drink? Then maybe we can keep talking.
Only if you're buying.
Very well. I'm happy to pay. Here, bartender, 100. Keep this man happy for the rest of the night.
You didn't have to do that. I'm not worth...
I think that you are, Mr. Green. Whatever the online mobs have said about you, I know that you're a good man, deep down.
I think you've got the wrong Mr. Green, stranger. I'm far from a good man. There's things I've done to those I'm supposed to have loved. If you really did know me, you'd know that.
But I do know you, Mr. Green. They say that you beat your wife, and beat her bad. They say that she divorced you and that you lost your job, home and friends, and even spent a little time in the pig house.
5 years is not a little time. Why are you here? Why do you care? You sleeping with her? Have you come to beat me?
No, Mr. Green. I'm here to tell you something. Something I think you need to hear, more than anyone.
Oh, yeah? And what's that?
How about you take a bit of that drink, Mr. Green?
You're the boss.
Mr. Green, you were lied to. That what you say happened between you and your wife that night. It didn't happen.
That's bullshit.
No, Mr. Green, it's true. You never beat your wife. It's all a lie.
Now listen, I have the memories. A broken coffee table, her shattered necklace. When I closed my eyes, I could still see her terrified face as I threw her against the wall. Don't you dare tell me that didn't happen. Don't you dare.
I dare, Mr. Green. I dare because I know things. Things that I'm going to tell you, so that you know them, and when I've finished telling you, I'm going to make you an offer. I hope that you take it.
Who are you?
I'm an editor.
As in movies?
Not exactly, Mr. Green. My job is very different. I deal with memories. I change them, delete them, create replacements, create conflictors, and much more than that.
I don't understand.
Allow me to give an example, then. Maybe you'll understand, then. Imagine something traumatic happened to you. Something like losing a loved one. An editor, like myself, could enter your mind and change your memories of that loved one. Maybe you want to blur out the details of their passing. Maybe you want to completely forget them, so you don't have to grieve. Maybe you decide that you want to fabricate a scenario that allows you to move on from that loved one. Like a fight or something similar. Take away that guilt with a little anger. Help you move on. Another way to look at what I do is that we can change your history. Past, present, or future.
Are you here to change my future?
Yes, as well as your past, Mr. Green. Like I've already said, you were lied to. You were manipulated into believing what happened between you and your wife was real, but in fact it wasn't. It was all a lie.
Are you saying that I was edited?
You were indeed, Mr. Green.
Did you do it?
No, but I am aware of the editor that was hired by your wife to do the job.
Did you say that my wife hired them?
I did. Please, keep calm, Mr. Green.
Calm? You're asking me to be calm. You've just told me that my wife hired a man to put false memories of me abusing her in my head. I am justifiably fucked off.
And you have every right to be, but there's nothing that you can do right now to change what's happened.
But you said that you could.
I did, and have. For the past 10 years, you have lived with that lie that you were an abuser, that you hurt your wife, and that you deserved your punishment. You became a broken and pathetic man because of that lie. I have freed you from that. You now know the truth.
I wish that I didn't know, if I'm being honest. You've replaced my guilt for rage. How could my wife betray me like that? What did I do to make her want to do that?
Whatever her reason, Mr. Green, she felt it was good enough, that she didn't mind allowing you to live with this guilt for the last decade.
Must have been. I've always loved her. Always. I wasn't always the best husband to her. I had my faults, what man doesn't? That's something she'd like to remind me. But I would never have hurt her for real. Never. That's why it's hurt me so much to wake up that morning, with a drink still on my breath and bruises and blood on my knuckles. To see her home in that state and to remember her face like that. How could I not believe it?
Mr. Ryder, that's who it was she had hired. He was very good at his job, I'll give him that. Scene construction was always his speciality.
How did he do it? Drugs? Hypnosis?
An editor uses a dream machine, a device that manipulates your subconscious mind in order to change or generate the memories required for the job. With your job, you had the false memories inserted into your mind as you slept. Sleep is the safest and most reliable method for memory editing.
So he broke into our home and did stuff to me as I slept?
Yes.
Do you know where he lives?
I can't say, Mr. Green. Mr. Ryder was always careful with his life outside of his work, and even if I knew, I wouldn't pursue him. Since that job, he's been removed from the company.
Why?
He had problems of his own. He was caught editing someone that he knew personally. The less I say, the better.
Prick.
We are all human, Mr. Green. It's the one thing that we all have in common.
So what now, editor? Where do we go from here?
I told that once I had finished what I had to say, my explanation of what happened to you, that I'd make you an offer.
An offer you'd hope I'd take.
That's right. Since the removal of Mr. Ryder from the company, there has been a vacancy. I would like you to join us, Mr. Green.
But why?
You have more reason than most to do what's right with the job. An editor needs to be someone who would know the power that they hold in their hands, to use the dream machine not for personal gain, but for the needs of the client. I believe that with your history, that you would understand that power, to know how it can affect a life.
Do I have to wear a suit?
I'm afraid so. It's part of the job.
I don't know the first thing about this job.
I know. I'm willing to train you. Underneath your bar stool is a suitcase. Inside that suitcase is a dream machine and a phone. That dream machine was the one that Mr. Ryder used that night on you. Insider instructions for its use. If you are interested, I have a job tomorrow night. Sober up and call me on the number on the phone and we can get started.
Let me think about it.
Very well, Mr. Green. Enjoy the rest of your night. I hope that you accept my offer.